also your main focus should be providing a quality product and service. Once you spend the time that you need in developing, I should say, that quality product, the customers and the business would flow from there.
Hi there, Nichole Joseph-Cupid, CEO of Business Lifeline Limited, and today I'm having the most fun part of my job. I am out here for another episode of Let's Meet Our Neighborhood Entrepreneur. So today I want to welcome Miss Eve Phillip of Eve Eden Beauty Products to Let's Meet Our Neighborhood Entrepreneur. Eve, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure today to be with you. You have been creating lots of waves on Instagram with your products, really nicely marketed, and of course I have had the esteemed privilege of actually using your products, and they live up to all the expectations. So visually they look really well, your fragrance is amazing. So young, energetic young lady, what got you into this line of business?
Well, thanks so much, first of all, for your kind words and your feedback. I really appreciate it. Social media and social media marketing is not really my strong point. I've been a late adopter to the whole social media game.
We would never have been able to figure that out.
Yeah, my sister helps a lot. She's a graphic designer. So
awesome.
She's the lady behind that aspect of it. So I really appreciate hearing that. Well, we've improved our game and it's getting positive feedback. What got me into doing bath and body products is that when I was younger, around 14, 15 years old, I suffered from atopic dermatitis. And
wow.
At that age, it's the age where you're most self-conscious, you're a teen, yes. Looking into, noticing boys, I should say. So that's the age where you try to be as perfect as you can. And during that time, I really didn't have much offerings in terms of what I could use to treat my condition available to me. There were a few, but they were quite pricey. Yes. So I got into bath and body products and creating my soaps and lotions because what spurred me really into it is that I met a client of mine, and she had atopic dermatitis as well. That was around 2016.
Right.
And she was experiencing the same challenge that I had back then, with a limited budget and still trying to find treatment for her condition, sorry. So she kind of spurred me, just wanting to assist in some way to alleviate her suffering, so she wouldn't have to go through the same thing I went through, that self-consciousness and whatnot. Just spurred me to doing more research. I was always interested in DIY beauty. I'm the type who would look at YouTube and read blogs and try to do say shea butter stuff for the hair and black soap shampoos and different things like that. So it was always an interest of mine. I just never really considered it as a business,
So when did you make that transition? So you started off really wanting to do something meaningful for someone else as well as yourself.
Right.
So that initial drive, when did it convert into I can help a whole lot more people if I commercialize this?
Well, I would say it wasn't an immediate thing. It was a more gradual growth into taking it into a business, right? Because I was always into DIY, and I'd make stuff and give it to my friends, because sometimes I make big batches, like, hey, try this will work for me, and I would get the positive feedback and that kind of thing. Some of them would ask me, like, hey, you could sell this, they would say things like that. I was like, there's something I could really do, So in the research and testing that I did for the soaps that I wanted to create for my clients, I I made a lot, a whole lot, like over 100 and something individual bars, you know, and I was like, this is something I could take into a business, you know. I discussed it with my family, and well, one of my sisters, my youngest sister, she was my initial investor, and just went from there.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the business side of it. You know, pursuing your passion, having that talent, you know, all the research and development that went into the product itself. But what about the other aspects of business? How easy was it for you to adapt to, you know, having to do the marketing side, having to do your accounting, all these other elements that support your business operation?
Well, I do have I did business, POA and POB at the CSEC level. So I have a little background in terms of, you know, keeping your business money separate from personal money, so you can do the it'll be easier for your accounting and whatnot. So as soon as I registered the business in 2017, I did a business bank account one time.
Awesome.
You know, so that I would have that, you know, separation of monies. My father is an accountant as well, and he's been a great help in guiding me. A retired accountant, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's been a great help in guiding me in terms of, you know, invoicing and just making sure I keep my receipts and whatnot, so we could account for everything.
Awesome.
You know, and the social marketing part of it, as I mentioned before, is not really my strong suit.
But you have the support.
But I do have the support of my sister. I have general ideas, okay, like this is what I would want it to look like. So I would give her a jumping off point and she would just flesh it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you have the right support.
Yes, it
is. Yes. You know, any words that you'd want to share with someone who, similar to you, have a passion? They may just be, you know, practicing it as something for themselves or for those close to them, you know. Any words of encouragement that you would have to share with them as to how they can expand their dream?
I would say be positive, go into entrepreneurship or business development in an optimistic light. I would say also your main focus should be providing a quality product and service. Once you spend the time that you need in developing, I should say, that quality product, the customers and the business would flow from there. It shouldn't be the other way around, where your main focus is just trying to make money. Because if you have something substandard out there, customers would realize and your revenue stream would dry up, basically. You know, once that would get out there. So focus on creating a good product, do as much research as you can. I'm self-taught, right? So I learned a lot from YouTube, from blogs, from all over the internet, talking to other people and Facebook forums and whatnot. So the information is out there, easily accessible in this 21st century, you know, age. So do that research, and also another important thing is planning. I wouldn't say I had a down pat from the get-go in terms of the business planning and like planning by quarter in terms of like what you plan to release and your social media posts and whatnot. Only I would say towards the later part of last year, 2020, I really tried to make greater strides in improving that.
Right.
You know, so try and plan as much as you can.
So I want you to stick a pin there. I get excited every time I hear somebody talk about planning.
Yes.
You know, what was the difference in results for you, you know, before you started to plan as effectively or improve the effectiveness in your planning?
Okay. What happened to me is that in the early, like say in the first year and a half, where I wasn't planning as much as I am now, I would notice that I wouldn't have as much engagement on social media because once in a blue moon I'd put a post or a meme or something like that.
Right.
You know, and in having a more structure in even my production and whatnot, it allows me to not make as much mistakes. Because sometimes if you're rushing, like say for example, I'm preparing for a Mother's Day release and I don't really plan, okay, when I'm going to get my supplies, when I'm going to get, when I'm going to start actually making these soaps, when I'm going to do my social media marketing. When I didn't really have those dates set, things would slip by life, right? Yes. Happens. Things would slip and I'd be in a mad rush trying to get everything done in time. And sometimes you might have a design in your head, say for a soap design in terms of the colors and things, and because you're rushing, you might make a mistake, you might be putting enough of a certain ingredient. It may not come out how you want, you might end up, and this happened to me actually, because I could say I didn't prepare as much as I can. I had a soap that didn't come out the way I wanted it, and it stayed on my hand for long. It was a good soap, it wasn't as eye-catching as I envisioned it or I had planned it, because of that rush, that time crunch that I had. You know? Yes. So planning is important to have, you know, as positive results in all factors.
So planning improved the quality.
Yes.
Definitely. Awesome. So I'm excited. I'm excited for us to get a little sneak peek into your next collection, and you want to share a little bit about it, do you?
Well, for this Valentine's collection, I try to focus more on the female population, the female target market. What I notice is my target market mostly is women of all ages, so from as young as 13 to 65, you know, so and older. But that's the general market that I capture. So I try to target this collection to the mothers, really trying to highlight the extra work women put in given the pandemic, working from home, doing that work-life balance, that kind of thing. So to me is a appreciation and a recognition of the hard work that mothers did, as well as fathers, because I do have a couple bars that are geared towards more the male population. So it's really a labor of love, and I hope it's appreciated.
It's definitely appreciated from my end of the perspective, definitely. I think you've produced a really good quality product, and you can see the passion in your designs and the quality of the product that you've produced. So on behalf of Business Lifeline, of course, we want to wish you all the best in your future entrepreneurial endeavors. And I mean, when I looked into my crystal ball, I saw lots of growth and prosperity for you. Yes. So definitely we want to take this time now that we can have a sneak peek review into your Valentine's Day collection. But before we do so, would you like to share your contact information for anybody wishing to make contact with you and get some of your products?
Yes. You can reach me on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Eve Beauty. You could direct message me there, or you could WhatsApp me at 769-8757 for more information.
Awesome. So check it out, and we are going to check out the Valentine's Day collection.
Alright, so this is a little sneak peek of the Valentine's Day collection.